Hey, this is Notser, and this is the Tier 10 US Destroyer Gearing. It has 6 main guns, 10 torpedoes, 30 A8 guns, a surface detection of 5.9 kilometers, top speed 37.8 knots, total health 23,400. For my modules, reduce crit chance on main battery, increase main battery accuracy and rate of fire, lower chance of flood and fire, faster rudder shift, and concealment. For my commander, situation awareness, last stand, superintendent, survival expert, and concealment. Again, we are on the map The Atlantic. So yesterday we had a Shimakaze in 0.5.3. Well, now we have a Gearing in 0.5.3. The builds are very different. The focus is very different. And in this particular game on The Atlantic, I'm going to head towards the island area in the northeast side of the map. And I'm going to look for enemy destroyers. There are 3. A Shimakaze, another Japanese destroyer, probably a Kageto or a Fubuki, and a US destroyer, low-tier US destroyer. I think it's a Benson. It might be a Fletcher, but you get the general idea. I'm looking for the Shimakaze. I let my team know. Tell me where that Shimakaze is, and I'll come and destroy him. We're not scouted right now. There's no threat, but most of my team doesn't want to go in the same area I'm going. They are going in the southwest side of the map. There are aircraft carriers on both sides, so we need to be careful of aircraft scouting us out. And I just want to make a quick check. Torpedoes are almost ready to go. Oh, there's someone on the minimap. It's a Benson. Okay, well, we can engage the Benson. Holy crap. This is not where I wanted to find the Shimakaze. I'm going to assume that his torpedoes are up. And if we knock out his propulsion, here come the torpedoes. Turn, Notser, turn. He pops his smoke. We're going to send our torpedoes. Maybe we can kill him if he kills us. 1, 2. We're alive. Pop my smoke. Use damage control. Is he going to be able to avoid the torpedoes? 1 torpedo hit. He's still alive. 2 torpedoes. Yes. We take out the Shimakaze. Oh my, way too stressful at the beginning of the game. I can't handle this. 3 minutes in, and I want to change my pants. Well, finding a Shimakaze at 3 kilometers and surviving is a feat in itself. And notice something again. 3.5k health. Survival Expert has already paid for itself in these first 2 matches. Definitely 100% recommend it for pretty much any destroyer build. You just get so close to dying that extra health is so important. It's a much higher percentage for destroyers than, say, a battleship. Especially a battleship that stays in the back and harasses. Doesn't take the full damage. Why would you care about 4K? You're not going to take 4K anyway. And oh, the Benson. He's playing smart. He's trying to get me. He knows I'm vulnerable. I'm trying to get away, though. That's the most important thing. I just want to sail completely away. And I don't really have backup. He might get a shot in between. No. Okay. Okay. Well, we should be safe now. We have better detection than the Benson. So, after that excitement, I'm going to try and look to detect the ship, have my friendly cruiser assist me in killing the Benson. I don't want the Benson to detect me until I have an advantage with my gun systems. I'm not afraid to go. I'm ready. I just don't want to be his primary target. I kind of want to bait him into targeting the friendly cruiser, and then he'll have to rotate his guns and engage my ship. Now, you notice I don't have expert marksman. There are just too many good level 2 commander skills. Last stand saved me there, 100%. The Shimakaze did not have last stand, so he was very vulnerable to his engine being knocked out. We were able to maneuver just enough, just barely, to avoid complete destruction. So if I was the Benson, I would not over-pursue. There's too much of a risk. I was able to get away safely. You should just take the loss and look for another opportunity. I don't think that's what he's going to do. I think he wants to be aggressive. I believe he thinks, since he's full health, he has a clear advantage over my ship. Well, I hate to break it to you, but the Gearing is my ship. The US destroyer, Gearing, and Fletcher are my top 2 ships now that the Mogami has been nerfed into oblivion. So I'm ready. I'm just going to go neutral and use my front guns if I have to. My rate of fire will destroy the Benson. And he's scouted out because he doesn't have as good detection. Friendly engages him, and his guns were not looking at me. So we have a first strike capability. And initially I start out with the front and the back on the target. We knock out propulsion. He's rotating. He still has not fired on us yet. Finally, he fires. That's a huge mistake. We've already gotten him to basically the same health as us. And our rate of fire is so high, we're going to kill him before... Oh, no, torpedoes. Fit inside. Oh, my. Okay. Well, the cruiser got the kill, but we survived, and we only took 500 points of damage. I'll take that, considering it was a 100-0 on that Benson. I just hate what that Benson did. Don't you do it. Don't you automatically go into your torpedo systems when a target is 3.5k health. Just gun him down. You're in a US destroyer. Your torpedoes are satisfactory, but they're not your bread and butter. Your guns are. Don't do that. That's a bad play. So now that we know that 2/3 of the enemy destroyers are taken out, our team can play a little bit more open, more free. The battleships don't have to worry about the Shimakaze. The Benson and firing from smoke would have been pretty devastating to some of our ships, so it's great. We have a huge advantage already in the early stages of this game. So now that I pretty much confirmed that the eastern side of the map is void of any enemies, I'm going to look for another valid target. The enemy aircraft carrier is looking to drop his torpedoes on the friendlies, and it is scary. The torpedo acceleration is very good for Japanese aircraft carriers. There's no downside. You're not going into a torpedo drop saying, you know what, I really want to take as much time as possible with my torpedoes in the water. No. You want them to get as close, drop it right at the target, hope that the target has no chance to maneuver, and destroy them. So the extra speed definitely helps, especially when torpedo bombers drop at like 35, 40 knots. 5 more knots is a huge percentage increase versus, say, the Shimakaze. Yeah, I love 72 knot torpedoes, but they're already moving at 67, 68 knots in the water. That is extremely fast already. So this enemy Kagero is being scouted by the aircraft. Great job, aircraft carrier. Since he's so close and we have the protection of the islands, we're going to engage him. Now we only have our front guns, but that's plenty to kill this guy. His propulsion's knocked out, but it looks like he has last stand. We are just going to gun him down. Full protection from the island. There's absolutely no reason to worry about using our smoke, and he tries to kill us. But you don't have as many guns as you would like, and we take him out. He did 500. What's the deal with these destroyers only doing 500? So every single enemy destroyer is taken out. We have contributed to all 3 kills, and there shouldn't be any surprises. None at all. This enemy cruiser, he looked like he wanted to go in this area. Doesn't want to. Right? No, we don't need to do that. So I'm just backing up. I'm going to reassess the situation. Maybe send my torpedoes against this enemy Tippets. He's out in the open, showing a broadside. We could get some damage done. Other than the Shimakaze, we really haven't used our torpedoes. And they're perfect for the Tirpitz. But anytime you can take out the entire enemy destroyer crew, your team just feels so much better. It really does impact the way you play the game. There's no longer this hidden threat that looms over the battleships. You're not going to accidentally lose your base to the enemy. You should have pretty good warning in all scenarios. So this Tirpitz, it's just, I want to get as close as I can before I commit. I think he realizes the errors of his way, and he's going to turn around. So I'm going to allow him to do a 180, and I'm going to send my torpedoes against him. At least that's how I interpreted this movement. I don't think he's going to go broadside. I think he actually wants to turn around. And then once he's committed going back to his base, we'll send our torpedoes against him. Yep, it looks like we've read correctly into his strategy. Friendly aircraft carrier is trying to take out the enemy torpedoes. We lead the target, and we let it fly. So let's see how successful we are. He's 50% live. He has used damage control because he was on fire when we zoomed in. And now, yeah, he's still immune. He's still immune for that fire. So he should be susceptible to the flood if we don't kill him with the torpedoes. And so far, it looks like we're going to hit. There isn't an option for him to avoid. Yeah, he is so dead. We could hit with 3 or 4, but it looks like 2 is enough. And we take out his propulsion, interestingly. That's not the only thing we took out. So I didn't want to run into this enemy cruiser, the Rune. He will destroy me, even though, yes, AP is his speciality. His AP will do just fine, considering I only have 2.5k health. I cannot be spotted. So I'm backing up. I'm given plenty of room, and I'm going to move forward. Now, the detection on the ship is fantastic, but maybe his aircraft could scout me. Notice I still have my AA turned on. I also have defensive fire. I could provide some support for the friendly battleships as they push up. The game is neck and neck. I don't know how this happened. We have the advantage as far as a more balanced team, but the enemy team has been doing a pretty good job of bringing it back. So, what's another valid target? Well, there are 2 enemy battleships in the center of the map. The last 2 enemy battleships. Enemy aircraft are flying overhead, and I'm a little afraid. Notser, you're detected, your aircraft. Stop chatting. And I saw that I was detected, but the aircraft moved away. So they have an idea I'm here. Torpedoes probably won't be up to take out the North Carolina. So I just say, hey, why don't you take them out? I'm scouted by the aircraft. I pop my smoke. The first smoke I've used in the game, other than right at the start with the Shimakaze, it's been over 10 minutes since we've had to use another smoke. I also use defensive fire. I would love to take the aircraft out. I know what he wants to do. He wants to keep me scouted. The friendlies are coming up right next to me, so we'll have pretty good AA to help in the destruction of this fighter group. Notice, enemy types up, he's in the cloud. I tell, no, I'm not. Clearly, there's been a hit put out by the enemy team. Let's keep the gearing scouted and let's gun him down. He's so low. If everyone focuses him, we could just accidentally kill him. But I have 2 trump cards. I have a friendly Iowa and a Kutuzov, 2 fantastic AA platforms. They are helping me by destroying the enemy fighter group. And we're back to being invisible. So, who should we go after? There's enemy torpedo bombers, and we lose the friendly Kutuzov. Unfortunate. This game is still very close. The torpedo bombs might come near me. I don't want to run into them. That would be embarrassing. But it looks like they're coming to the end. Yep. Okay, they're done. Good. The Iowa looks to be overextending just a little bit. The enemy Iowa is pretty stationary. I think he's actually backing up. He's definitely not moving forward that fast. He has to be pretty stationary, but I don't really have a good angle of attack. The smoke is down, my torpedoes are up, but I don't have a good angle when a forward-facing battleship is right in front of you. You really want the side. The best case scenario, he doesn't move. I get 2 torpedo strikes. If that, whoa! That rune was like full health when I looked. The friendly wrecks him, as he says. That was helpful. That was good. But we have the Iowa and, of course, the Ibuki. Speaking of Ibuki, I'm going to have anchors away tomorrow. I just felt like having the Shimakaze and the gearing compared with the brand new patch was more important. But I have 2 great Ibuki games on the older patch, but they're still great. I don't really know what my 0.5.3 build will be for the Ibuki. Oh man, we lose the Iowa. Showed too much of his side. He's gonna say, I bet he knows. Hey, I can't do that when there's an Iowa right there. He could just one-shot me, yep. Made him turn, okay. Well, this Iowa We're getting to a point where we could use our smoke. Not quite. I could send out my torpedoes, but I just didn't like what I saw. Now this Atago, it looks like he wants to meet up with his team. So I'm going to send one against the Atago. I might send the other one. I was going to send it to the Ibuki. Of course, he disappears. And come on, Atago. Just maintain a straight line. Go to your team. Don't move. Don't worry about any torpedo threat. There's none there. Unfortunately, we were detected with our AA off, so I turn it back on. We're going to try and kill it. These torpedo bombers could do devastation against the turrets, against the friendly cruiser. I turn on defensive fire. I'm hoping I can make it inaccurate. Come on. It looks like the aircraft took over there too. So, oh, we're taking fire. Atago. Don't pay attention, Atago. First set, unsuccessful. Maybe the second set will hit him. We can only hope, right? I think he realizes the trick. Yeah, he's slowing down. No! Well, we gotta wait a minute for our torpedoes. We could use our smoke. Right at the edge, the Ibuki is. Wow, that was such a Yoda comment.
Right at the edge, the Ibuki is.
So, let's try. We're gonna slow down. We're going to pop our smoke. And we're going to use our front two guns. Remember, we don't need our back. It's completely destroyed. How convenient. And we're using HE because there's not a lot showing. And it doesn't look like he's coming forward that fast. So I actually have to compensate and get a little bit more elevation. And now he's moving. You can see I haven't really changed, but he's just moving across the guns as they drop down. Ooh, he's going to show his side. We could use AP. He's still angled pretty good. We have to stick with HE. And look at this. 300 points of damage. Really? I want to do more than that. Oh, yeah. 900. And Friendly is able to finish off the Ibuki with the assistance of moi. So there's just that Iowa and the enemy aircraft carrier. I'm going to move forward, of course. Looks like the Atago let out torpedoes just before he died. Didn't reach us at all. And notice one thing. We've had a AFK destroyer the entire time. I didn't realize that at the time, but we've been playing one person down this entire game. It's always impressive to me that a team is able to win a game when they're at a disadvantage. No matter what it is, you have either overcome matchmaking that didn't work in your favor, and one thing I really like, not overstacking Shimikazes is one of the best changes that the matchmaker has ever done. It feels much more balanced to have one US destroyer per side, one Iowa per side, rather than have like 3 Iowas or 3 Yamatos. That was some pretty broken matchmaking. But now that we have all these different identities to all the different lines and classes, it feels pretty good. It's a good change. I haven't run into a completely broken scenario. I'm sure I will. But for now, I'm happy. So this Iowa is still backing up. Looks like he wants to move forward to rearrange his positioning. And truthfully, this is a mistake by me. A battleship should never be given the opportunity to play like this. The stationary, slow reversal is supposed to be countered by destroyers, like me. But I just wasn't in the correct position. Now I am, and I send them against the enemy Iowa, but I show myself. So I bet you this kind of player, yeah, here they come. Oh. Yeah, it wasn't even close. This kind of player understands the threat, and yeah, he sees it and he avoids it. We get one right on his nose, and it causes a flood. We'll force out damage control. His AA. Yeah, get out of here, aircraft. Nobody likes you. We were able to completely avoid the aircraft. It didn't scout out our intentions. And there's 10 seconds left in the game. I was really hoping to kill him outright with the torpedoes, but he didn't want that. So in the last 5 or 6 seconds, we're going to shoot him once, and it's not even going to land on his ship. This game was very stressful at the very start of the match. We had to play passively because of that, but it worked out in the end. We got 3 kills, first blood, Naval Warfare Arson, 5 torpedo strikes, 2,588 base XP. Solid, the turrets in the rune, great job. We did around 85,000 points of damage, and taking out that Shimakaze was a huge deal for the success of our team, especially being 1 down. I hope you enjoyed this game. I especially enjoyed that moment. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you next time.